Hey, we're Colony House, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I tweeted about it earlier today, and I told you guys once again that record is insane. Like, it kind of drove me nuts because I wanted to just not do anything all day and just listen to it. So, I mean, tell me about the creation process for Colony House. You know, how do you guys get together and write music?
Well, it typically starts with an acoustic guitar, and I kind of write the skeleton of the song and then bring it to these boys, and we kind of flesh it out, and it becomes a song, you know, that way.
Yeah.
I play drums in the band, so I like to try to put, I guess, my thing on it on the drum side of things. There's not, you know, I really enjoy bringing that part of it to the song. It's fun for us to get together and really hash it out, we like to say, and then Scott will occasionally he plays guitar, and he'll occasionally bring an idea too, and it's kind of a team effort. But Caleb usually brings like the core, the bones, the melody usually, and the lyrics. Caleb is all lyrics, so
Yeah.
but it's kind of a team effort.
Yeah. Nothing to add to that. That's how it goes, man.
It's a team effort.
Cool. Now, going into the studio, well, actually, when listening to the record, I hear it gives me like like an arena type of vibe. Like, it's something that you want to hear in a big, loud room, you know. So recording this, how was that? Did you have any other instrumentation going on aside from the instruments that you would normally play on stage?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we like to dream big. We like to think that one day we might be able to play in an arena. You know, it's lofty, but and in the studio you get to explore that. You get to explore what it could be at its fullest, and so it's fun to be able to like take it to a club and play it rock and roll, 2 guitars, a bass, and drums. But in the studio, it's fun to be able to dream a little, and that's I think that's the mentality. So
I think that we still try to keep a pretty honest approach as far as not loading down the tracks with a lot of things that won't translate live, but it, like Caleb said, it is fun to add a couple elements here and there. We had a guy that plays keyboard kind of produce the record, which none of us really do, and so it's kind of fun to have that little extra flavor on there.
Yeah. Now, where did you guys end up producing it and recording it?
We did it all in Nashville. We spent a good amount of time on it, but kind of a bunch of little house studios all through Nashville. We did drums at like 9 songs of drums at one small little house studio, and then 2 of the last tracks were at a bigger kind of studio called the Brown Owl in Nashville. But for the most part, yeah, it was like 3 or 4 little house studios. So yeah, that's where we spent most of the time doing it.
yeah.
Okay. Now, the record's called When I Was Younger, so how does the title coincide with the songs on the album?
I think it's an observation, if you will, of growing up, and the beautiful things that happen and the hard things that happen, and just exploring that, and how important it is to encourage the young ones as they're learning the lessons, the hard lessons, and also encourage the ones that have lived a little bit more life that to keep pressing on. So yeah.
Now, when being in the studio and recording and even writing this record, you know, how do you feel from your previous releases? How do you feel that you've grown as musicians, as artists, or even as individuals?
I know something we say a lot and have talked about a lot is we've been on the road a lot more, and you start seeing what translates to people when they're right there in front of you, 10 feet away. And so I think we've just grown in being able to relate with more people. Musically, of course, it's like it's a muscle. So it's like the more you lift weights, the stronger you're going to get. The more you're out on the road, I think the stronger you're going to get, the stronger your songs will be, and everything like that. So I think it's just been time. Like, we've just been putting time into it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is a little bit of a new territory for us as far as record goes. We haven't put out a full-length record yet, so that's a little different than stuff we've put out in the past. We've put out a bunch of like 5 or 6 song EPs, so it was kind of a challenge in a good way. I remember when we first started recording the record, we were like, dang, this takes a lot of work to actually do like 10, 11, 12 songs, you know. And so yeah, it was fun though. It was fun for us to get to like be like, oh, we get to record more than just like 4 or 5 songs, but it was a challenge too in a good way. So we're excited to see kind of how we grow from putting out our first full length too, and see what comes, the challenges that come with that, and can't wait to, I mean, that's down the road, but can't wait to do another one, you know, already. So, but the first one, I know we got a lot of work to do with the first one, so we're excited.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm sure it's already hard enough that you guys have to sit down and, you know, put the pen to the paper, but when you guys have all the songs done, how do you guys go about choosing what's going to make it to the album and, you know, what's going to be, you know, put away for a while?
I mean, at least if this record is any proof, it changes every time. We went into pre-production with like, I don't know, 15 songs probably, and kind of you start to figure out which ones come alive in the studio and which ones kind of you think that maybe you'll save for another time, or that aren't right with this certain batch of songs. They kind of rise to the top, if you will, like which ones make the most sense to put on there. And we definitely had a few that we were like, you know, that might be a cool song one day, but not for this. Like, and I think it's important to be able to tell the difference between the two.
I also noticed pretty much like the first half of the record, it's like rock and roll, you know, high energy and everything, and then the second half is a little slower. I hear more acoustic. I hear more of the vocals. What was the reason behind setting it up that way?
I think it's to go along with the idea of growing up, and it's like, as a child, there's a little bit more playfulness. There's a little bit less wrong with the world, and then growing up, things get heavy, and things become a little bit more real. And I think we wanted to translate that with the music as well as the lyrics. So having the music landscape take a little bit more of a turn for something a little bit melancholy, I don't know if it's the right word, but something just a little bit more thoughtful or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was purposeful for sure.
Okay. Now listening to, I believe it's "Won't Give Up."
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I love the lyric. There's something in my lungs
Mm-hmm.
that keeps me from breathing. I love that. Like that clicked on like in my head like instantly. But the intro to that song, it made me think back of a little bit of City and Color. I don't know if you guys have heard of City and Color. So I mean, what inspired this whole record as far as other musicians, as far as other music?
So much. This has been like, I think everyone's first record that they put out like full length is from us 24 years, the last 24 years of influence, and it all packs into your first record. So many things, the bands we listened to, everything from the hardcore stuff we listened to in like high school, and then, you know, kind of growing out of that a little bit into, you know, we went through British rock, I'm still kind of just British rock phase, and then, you know, old school rock and roll, whether it's Johnny Cash or Roy Orbison or Bob Dylan, you know, like singer-songwriters that have been telling stories for a long time. It's a modge podge of like constantly searching for ways to be inspired. So I think that's been a big thing on this record. It's just everyone's throwing different things into the pot, which is a cool eclectic piece of art, hopefully.
So as you had mentioned, you guys went from hardcore to now. What led you guys to this genre right now?
I don't know. I mean, I think just like continuing that continual search for something that you want to sound like. So I don't think we were mean enough to stick in the hardcore world.
We joke around about every hardcore kid in high school turned out to be like an indie rock kid in like his 20s. So we just kind of followed that natural path of like of doing that, and just like, you know, I mean, we were a rock band from Tennessee, you know, just that opens the playing field a little bit for us, you know.
So shouldn't the record, maybe since it's called When I Was Younger, shouldn't it have some hardcore?
It should. It should start out with that. It should start out.
Maybe not. There's a secret track on there with some screaming and stuff.
Who would be the screamer?
This guy.
Yeah, me.
Will stuck in it.
You're a little under oth with the screaming?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's me.
Singing and screaming and all the above.
Been known to have a breakdown or two happen at rehearsal from time to time.
Just to reminisce on the good days. The good days.
Now, what kind of music do you guys listen to aside from anything related to the band? Something that, you know, anybody else might not, you know, really think of.
Pick up on. I don't think you'd pick up on a lot of Johnny Cash, but I've been in a lot of Johnny Cash music lately. I just love. I feel like I know him through his songs, and that's what I want people to do with us. I mean, I kind of, when you are in a world, it's hard to listen to something without putting it to what you're doing. So like, if you're in the art community, any piece of art, you're gonna say, how do I translate that into something that I would want to do? Whether it's art, you know, painting, singing, dancing, I don't know. It all inspires something. Everything moves in you in some way. So I don't know.
I love like soundtrack music, like strings, and I could listen to that stuff like all day, which you don't really hear on a record. I guess the track "Glorious" on a record has a little like moments of that. It's got like really strings. That's kind of probably where that comes out the most on the record. But I listen to that stuff all the time, and you probably won't hear that a ton on this record. But well, I guess melodic, you know, melody-wise, there's some moments of real like. That goes back to Ben Shive, who helped co-produce this record, and Joe Kazi. We had two kind of co-producers. They both are incredible kind of string arrangers, and that really shined on like 3 or 4 tracks on this record. For sure. So that's where, I love that stuff. So,
and I think as a rule recently, especially, we've all kind of like gone back. You know, we've gone through the stages of listening to like all the things that are new, and then I feel like a lot of us now are just like in this like stage of going back and like listening to people that have had songs that stand the test of time, and kind of just, you know, see what works, see how to add that to what we do. There's obviously something that they've done correctly, you know, and like Caleb was saying, like all the songwriters of, you know, like Roy Orbison and Elvis and even those guys, like figuring out how to be able to tell a story like them, and I don't know, I think that we're all really into that right now.
Okay. You guys are on tour right now, but the tour ends a couple days before the record is out, which is July 22nd. Any plans for a proper tour for this record coming up real soon, or are you guys gonna relax a little bit?
Yeah, we want to be on the road all year, so we are. The plan is that we'll be busy. I mean, starting this fall, maybe August even. We're still figuring out kind of press and promo and all that for August throughout the summer, and then the plan is to be touring, which we will be touring this fall. So we haven't announced anything yet, but be on the lookout, because we'll be definitely kind of all over the place starting fall, I'm assuming. So but yeah, we're doing a great tour with Bad Sons in July, a great band, and so that's kind of it until the release. So yeah.
Now, for those that haven't heard of you guys or your music yet, go ahead and let them know why they should go ahead and check out the new record.
If you like the movie The Sandlot, what we like to say that we are as a band is we're the guys from the movie The Sandlot just grown up playing music. So that's what we like to kind of describe. And who doesn't like the movie The Sandlot, right? So Squint, Squints. Yeah.
Jet, of course.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good reference to why you should listen to us, because we like The Sandlot.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the main reason.
Yeah, if you pre-order now, you get 2 songs.
Yes.
I mean, there you go. That's
Pre-order.
that's easy.
And then if you guys get to 1,000 by July 22nd, right?
We'll give you the biggest rock and roll song we got. It's called 220. You want to hear it, because we want to give it to you.
Yeah.